Good day, everyone. My name is Olatosi Tolabari Deborah. I'm a student of University of Lagos, Accounting Department 200 level. I'm the group leader for Group 13, FBA 264 Business Communication Project. In this video, we'll be discussing achieving effective communication, and I will be explaining the meaning of effective communication. Before we start, my group members would like to introduce themselves too.
My name is Adetna Sheribola. I'll be explaining the C's of effective communication.
Yeah, my name is Abel Damlola, and I'm going to be talking about the C's of effective communication.
My name is Adeleke Tisilokwe Blessing. I'll be the one introducing the definition of communication.
My name is Iliana Rui. I'll be speaking on the principles of effective communication.
Hello everyone, my name is Olani Rebecca Ayomide. I'm going to be explaining factors that influences effective communication.
Hello everyone, my name is Dokiwale Promise Tobilola. I'll also be explaining the factors that influence effective communication. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Archibald Victor Anthony, and I will be speaking on the personal barriers that affect effective communication.
My name is Eze Chukuma Avilos. I'll be talking on the organizational barriers affecting effective communication.
Effective communication is the exchange of information between people or groups with feedback. It's beyond just exchanging information. It's about understanding the emotions and intentions of information. Communication is effective only if the message has been received and understood by the receiver, and the sender knows it has been understood. This means that for communication to be effective, there has to be a sender or transmitter of the message. The message to be sent must be clear, and an appropriate medium through which the message will be sent must be chosen. Then there has to be a receiver, that is the person the message is directed to, and the receiver has to send a feedback to the transmitter to confirm receipt and understanding of the message. Until a feedback is sent to the transmitter, communication is yet to be effective. Experts generally agree that there are 7 C's of effective communication which are applicable to both oral and written communication. Sheriff will be explaining some of the 7 C's of effective communication.
I'll be explaining the C's of effective communication. One, this will take into consideration the receiver level of understanding in order to enhance repetition of an organization. Conciseness. This will convey the message in this possible number of ways without giving any facts, and to lead the receiver to understand what the sender is trying to say. Consideration of techniques, stepping to the shoes of others, and taking into consideration the receiver point of view. This will really help us to the message that is make understanding very easy and purpose of your message.
So I'm going to be talking about the last 3 C's of effective communication. 1. Concreteness. Concreteness implies that the message is particular and clear rather than making a general statement. A concrete communication is based on facts and figures. Courtesy. Courtesy implies that the sender's message has a particular respect on the receiver, and a courtesy message, the sender right here is respectful, polite, and enthusiastic. And correctness. Correctness implies that the communication has no error of any kind, be it semantic, grammatical, or phonological. And correctness implies that the message makes use of precision, exact facts, and figures. Correctness builds the confidence level of the communicator and has a greater impact on the receiver.
I will talk about the prevention of communication. What's communication? Communication is the process of transmitting information from one person to another. Communication is gotten from a Latin word, communicate, which means common. For communication to be effective, it must have the sender and the receiver. Communication is involved in 2 processes, which involve the sender and the receiver. When we communicate, we listen, we speak, and we observe. There are different ways communication can be made effective: through oral, written, sending of symbols and language, facial expression, gesture. For effective communication, there must be a feedback in the sense that the sender and the receiver, for example, the sender sends a message to the receiver, in which the receiver understands the message, then gives the sender a reply, which involves a feedback. For
Principles of effective communication. Number 1, the principle of clarity. The message or idea to be communicated should be clearly spelled out. It should be worded in a way that the receiver understands what the sender is trying to convey. A vague message is not only a barrier to communication, but it also delays the communication process. 2, the principle of brevity. Communication should be brief and concise. Repetition and over explanation is likely to. Number 3, the principle of simplicity. Simple and familiar words should be used during communication. Vague and technical words should be avoided at all costs. Simple words are easier to understand and enable the receiver reply quickly. Number 4, the principle of feedback. Feedback is necessary during communication to enable the sender know that the receiver understands what he was trying to convey. Number 5, the principle of timeliness.
Factors influencing effective communication. 1. Clarity. Clarity is very crucial and very important in effective communication. Messages must be clear, they must be concise, they must be brief and not ambiguous. It must be a message that will be understandable to both the listener and the speaker. They must not create confusion and misunderstanding. 2. Listening skills. Listening skill is very, very important in effective communication. Now, communication is not just about speaking. It involves the ability to be able to understand effectively whatever the speaker is trying to pass across. It involves engaging actively in whatever the speaker is saying, understand the message appropriately, and give appropriate response. 3. Body language. Non-verbal communication involves the use of facial expressions, the use of gestures, the use of postures to convey your message to whoever is listening. Now, the use of body language is the ability to convey thoughts, the ability to convey emotions to your listener about thoughts, about emotions that cannot be expressed through words. Like the popular saying which says action speaks louder than words. Now, last part from my end is context. Context in this sense, context is talking about the right message for that situation, the right message to the appropriate audience in order to avoid misunderstanding, because people interpret words differently.
I'm going to continue from here because we have empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It's essential in effective communication because it helps the speaker to connect with the listener, in order for them to understand their perspective. Last time, timing is critical in effective communication. We have feedback. Feedback is also one of the aspects of effective communication. Feedback helps to ensure that the message is being received and understood correctly. We have clarity of purpose. Clarity of purpose is also one of the essential aspects of effective communication. Without a clear purpose, the message will be irrelevant and confusing. Thank you.
You can just say,
My name is Archibald Victor Anthony, and I was speaking on personal barriers that affect effective communication. Firstly, what are personal barriers? Personal barriers relate to factors that are peculiar to both the sender and receiver, therefore causing an hindrance in the process of effective communication. There are various personal barriers to effective communication. One, which is poor listening skills. Poor listening skills on the part of both the sender and the receiver when they are both not able to process the message that has been passed. Secondly, it's a lack of vocabulary. When the right vocabulary is not used between the sender and the receiver in the communication process, there would be a hindrance to smooth and effective communication. Thirdly is cultural barrier. Now, in our country, Nigeria, for example, there are divergent cultures and divergent beliefs. Now, when both the sender and the receiver have different cultural beliefs, there will definitely be an hindrance in effective communication. Thirdly is lack of knowledge and awareness. For this point, I'll be using an example. For example, when a financial analyst is speaking about the financial market to a person who is only knowledge in the medical field, the person who is only knowledge in the medical field, being the receiver, would have no idea of what the financial analyst is speaking about. So therefore, both the sender and the receiver must have knowledge, adequate knowledge of the subject topic that is being discussed. Thank you very much.
Organizational barriers. What are organizational barriers? This refers to the hindrances that affect the communication process or the communication flow in an organization. It's also regarded as the factors that disrupt the economy, the communication flow or the communication process of an organization. Some of these factors include: 1, inappropriate or the wrong choice of communication medium. Now, this means in a broad aspect that when in an organization, it is important important that we use the proper communication medium to pass out the message that we need. For example, when using for an employee using PowerPoint to explain something to an uneducated factory worker, in that instance, communication is really ineffective. The second point would be the appearance of message. Now, when we talk about appearance of message, it relates to the readability, ineffective sentence structure. For readability, communication should be able to be understood and be read by the receiver. Also, for ineffective structured sentence, when we are for like in a written form, it is important that the sentence is used properly. Third, incorrect use of language. Now, what we mean by correct use of language, we are talking about the punctuation, the spelling, and likes. For example, if a punctuation is placed incorrectly in a message or in a letter or a memo, it could be conveyed. The intended message or intended comment can be read differently, understood differently. Now, the last factor would be the wrong type of message. When we talk about wrong type of message, we mean that, for example, when complex instructions are given, it is important or it is recommended that we use the written form. When we use written form, let me give an example, bringing it to our university, the University of Lagos. If the VC tends to convey a message to the different HODs in different departments, it is advisable and recommended that she uses a memo or a letter to make sure that the message is well understood by the various HODs. Thank you.